Welcome to our channel. Today, let's dive into nostalgia and look at 80 photos of America, then and now. Let us know which photos you like the most. West Main Street, Kent, Ohio, before 1910. Historic Main Street showcasing early 20th century American architecture and how it has evolved over the last century. Cleveland, Ohio's Playhouse Square, 1928 versus 2021. From a historic theater district's golden age to a modern entertainment hub, it's a fascinating urban transformation. Route 44, looking south toward Route 18, at Rootstown Center, Ohio, 1947 versus 2023. The change in this junction shows how infrastructure expanded over the decades. JFK's Boston apartment in 1959, compared to 2024. The residence of the future president remains a significant historical site. Unlucky House in San Francisco, 1936 versus 2022. Times have changed, but the house still attracts traffic accidents. A car crash in Brooklyn, 1941. A glimpse into early 20th century urban life and traffic conditions. Charleston, South Carolina, devastated during the Civil War, shows ruins after General Sherman's shelling in 1865. St. Michael's, built in 1761, still stands today, while many homes were destroyed. Central Park in New York City, during the Great Depression, shantylands and huts by people who lost everything. A stark reminder of the difficult times during one of America's darkest economic periods. Chicago Water Tower, one of the few structures to survive the Great Fire of 1871, stands as a testament to Chicago's resilience and the birth of modern skyscrapers. Hoover Dam water level July 1983 versus December 2022. Drastic difference shows significant water depletion over 40 years. Welch, West Virginia, downtown. A town with rich history, captured in photographs showing its development over time. Los Angeles, 1910s versus today. This is Daniel Plainview's house, representing oil wealth in early 20th century California. Vanden Boom Chair Factory, Quincy, Illinois, 1880 to 2018. A reflection of the industrial past and its legacy. The installation of Abraham Lincoln's statue at the Lincoln Memorial, Washington, D.C., 1920. A historic moment in the making of an American landmark. Lackawanna Railroad, Sussex Branch, New Jersey, 1911 versus 2021. From the steam engine era to today's Sussex Branch Trail, now part of Alamuchi Mountain State Park. Hibernian Hall, Charleston, South Carolina, damaged during Union bombardments. It was once a prominent meeting place before the Civil War. The Hollywood sign originally advertised Hollywoodland in 1923. The land portion was removed in 1949 with a renovation in 1978. Sitting on their 1947 Chevrolet in front of a diner 63 years later. A nostalgic comparison of family, vehicle, and the setting that transcends generations. San Francisco LGBTQ Center, 1979 versus 2024. A cultural hub for activism and community. Bathgate Avenue, Bronx, 1936. Capturing the hustle and bustle of the Bronx during the Great Depression. The Pines in Fallsburg, New York, 1950s to recent times. A glimpse into a popular vacation destination turned abandoned. Broad Boulevard featuring a unique steamer car from the early 1900s compared to present-day scenes. Laird and Dines Building, Tempe, Arizona, from 1900 to now. The old architecture stands alongside modern-day constructions. Los Angeles, California. Then and now, views capturing the city's evolution over the years. Matt's Family Homestead, Wisconsin, 1907 versus September 2024. Destroyed under unknown circumstances. A former Jewish synagogue converted into a Buddhist temple, 1986 to present, illustrating the building's evolving religious history. Washington, D.C., 1860, Pennsylvania Avenue and the Capitol, a central symbol of America's growth. After the War of 1812, this iconic building saw expansion with the addition of the cast-iron dome. Deadwood, South Dakota, Main Street, 1860s versus 2022. From a gold rush boomtown to a preserved historic site. Manhattan's elevated trains, 1920s versus 1980s, from essential infrastructure to abandoned tracks, now the beloved Highline Park. McConkey's Ferry Inn, Taylorsville, Pennsylvania, early 1900s versus 2022. A glimpse into the past during a hike. Georgeville Road and Sullivan Avenue, 1950s versus 2022. Enjoy a nostalgic view of this classic corner. Central Park, 1890, skating on the park's iconic lake with the Dakota Apartments in the background. This is New York's respite from city life, completed in 1858. Las Vegas in 1925, a dusty railroad and ranch town. The construction of the Hoover Dam in 1931 sparked a population boom, leading to the rise of modern-day Las Vegas. Main Street, US 40, Scenery Hill, Pennsylvania. This historic street shows how small-town charm endures despite changes over the years. Store and residence of W. Kimmel, Rootstown, Ohio, circa 1908. Early 20th century town center, where a general store and family residence once served as the heart of the community. Boston's Big Dig transformed the city by moving an elevated freeway underground, a massive project completed after 20-plus years. Building fire in New Bedford, Massachusetts, 1965. Flames engulfed the structure. Union soldiers at Price, Birch and Company, a former slave trading firm in Alexandria, Virginia. Today, the building bears a plaque commemorating its dark history. Mount Rushmore, 1930s. Early stages of George Washington's face appearing on the monument. Rootstown Township School, Ohio, 1917 versus 2015. This historic school building has evolved over time, housing various grades and undergoing significant expansions. Erie Canal, Lockport, New York, 1892-1021. Once a major transportation route, the canal now stands as a historic marvel. 100th Meridian, Cozad, Nebraska, 1866 versus present day. A proud marker for the Union Pacific Railroad's westward expansion. Ada, Ohio, 1938 versus modern-day Google Street View. Small-town charm preserved across the decades. .476 Broadway, New York, 1870 versus 2023. A historic building that reflects the city's timeless architecture. From uninhabited sandbar in the 1900s to a glamorous beach resort in the 1910s, Miami Beach's transformation is incredible. Early developers turned a barren land into a thriving resort. A historical road used between 1860 and the 1930s, once a lifeline for settlers. '80 and '86 Monroe Falls Avenue, Monroe Falls, Ohio. Two homes from the early 1900s in a small Ohio town, now reflecting the changes over decades. San Francisco, before the Golden Gate Bridge, 1868. A view from Telegraph Hill across the Golden Gate Strait, decades before one of the world's most iconic bridges was built. Congress Avenue, Austin, Texas, 1901. This bustling main street was envisioned in the city's first design, culminating in the Grand Texas Capitol building at its end. Intersection of Beaufort and Darby Avenues, Porter Ranch, Los Angeles, where the iconic E.T. scene was filmed in 1982, now compared to 2022. The Sahara Lounge, Utica Avenue, Brooklyn, 1961. Infamous for Larry Gallo's attempted murder, as depicted in The Godfather, now seen in 2024. 21 Pearl Street, New York City, 1890s versus 2024. Transformation from 19th century architecture to modern buildings. San Francisco, 1920-2020. A century of urban development, witnessing the city's expansion and growth. Manhattan Bridge, unfinished in 1908, completed in 2021. A pivotal engineering feat in NYC's landscape. Honolulu, Hawaii, late 19th century. Once a humble town, the city was a bustling trade center for sandalwood and sugar, attracting merchants and missionaries from across the globe. J. Uplinger Groceries, post office, provisions and dry goods, circa 1900. The Stowe Monroe Barbershop, Monroe Falls, Ohio. A glimpse into small-town retail life over a century ago. View of New York City skyline from the same bench, 1957 versus 2021. Dramatic changes in NYC's iconic skyline. Old Town Center, Chester, Massachusetts, 1892 to 2024. Preserving historic architecture while integrating modern changes. The house where Lincoln's conspirators plotted in Washington, D.C. in 1865, and now. This site marks a significant moment in American history. 2445 State Road, a former Krispy Kreme donut store from 1959, now a bike shop. The original windows were uncovered after being hidden for decades. Federal General Heinzelman and his staff at Arlington House, once home to Confederate General Robert E. Lee, now a key Civil War landmark. Great Frederick Fair, Frederick, Maryland, 1949 versus 2023. An enduring tradition celebrated for decades. Studio 54, New York City, 1982-2024. The iconic nightclub, once a hotspot for celebrities, now transformed. Intersection of Central Avenue and Adams Street, Phoenix, Arizona, 1920s versus 2024. A key historical crossroads in the city. Miami Erie Canal, St. Mary's, Ohio, 1949 versus today. Transformation of a postcard-worthy view into the present landscape. Harvey Milk's Castro Camera Shop, 1975 versus 2024. From a historic LGBTQ+ landmark to a modern site. Hamilton, Montana, 1942 versus 2018. Small-town America seen across time, showing both change and preservation. Speck Bakery Horseback Delivery, the 1932 version of Uber or DoorDash, delivering cookies and cupcakes. Early Los Angeles skyline compared to 2001. The rise of skyscrapers marks the rapid development of LA. Myersdale, Pennsylvania, Western Maryland Railroad Station, early 1900s versus 2021. A relic of railroad history preserved today. Promontory Summit, Utah, 1869 versus present day. This iconic site witnessed the Wedding of the Rails ceremony, marking the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad. 9th and Maple, Winston-Salem, North Carolina, 1959 versus 2023, a historic intersection transformed over the decades. Deadwood, South Dakota, 1888 versus present day. This boomtown emerged during the Black Hills Gold Rush, quickly constructed on land promised to the Lakota Sioux. Elm Street, Dallas, Texas, 1900 versus present day. Known for its cotton gin machinery production, the image shows wagons loaded with harvested cotton. Woodstock Festival Site, 1969 versus 2020. The legendary music festival location compared across half a century. Detroit, Michigan, 1882 versus 2017. From its early days of industrial growth to a modern-day resurgence. 79 Commercial Street, Provincetown, a historic location that no longer exists in its original form. Key West Island's remote yet wealthy status was linked to the mainland via railway in 1912, with air travel in 1926 and a highway in 1938. Historic Captain John Rogers Home, 4193 Tallmadge Road, near Rootstown, Ohio. A classic example of colonial architecture preserved to showcase Ohio's early history. Abraham Lincoln's Home in Springfield, Illinois, 1861 vs. 2021. The historical home remains a tourist attraction,